Ladies and gentlemen, in this RedGamingTech.com video, we're going to be taking a look at the Steam deals. It's Friday, the 21st of December. So guess what? That means the world didn't end, which is unsurprising. Today's deals are pretty reasonable, actually, but I'm a little bit disappointed with a few of the prices. So in no real order, we're going to start with probably the big one of today, Dishonored. It's 50% off, which makes it £14.99. It's worth noting that you can also pick up the Dunwell City Trials, but there's no discount on that. I repeat, zero, nilch, nada. So if you're hoping to pick that up cheap, well, you can't. Sorry. It's also part of the Bethesda collection, which includes a bunch of stuff for 65, which is reasonable. Dishonored is a very good game, in honesty. It has some problems with the PC version, predominantly to do with lighting. There is FX8A, I believe it is Injector. I'm probably just got the acronym wrong. My brain is not working the best today. And also the textures. The textures, in honesty, aren't bad, but there are several locations that I think to myself, this could look better. And by golly, it really could. It's not an ugly game. Don't get me wrong, I am not saying it's fugly, but what I am telling you is it could have been a lot better on PC. It's a very good game though, and in honesty, if you're looking for a title to play that kind of meets the stealth/assassin route, that's not quite Assassin's Creed, it's very good. It also is a very good first-person game regardless, and for the most part, it does look nice. I do like the art stylings of it, and it is a good PC port in terms of, say, the controls, the overall feeling of it, everything else. It just could have looked better. That's all there is to it, really. I could, dress it up more, but I'm not going to. Next one, Fear. This has always been on sale. It's ye old staple. Nevertheless, you've got all of them. Interestingly, at least right this second, there's no bundle available for this. Not quite sure what the thinking behind that was, but nevertheless, you've got Fear 3 available for £3.24, that's 75% off. In fact, all of these are 75% off. £2.49 for Fear 2, Project Origin. The DLC is available for £1.49, and Fear 1, the original, is £1.74. Quite honestly, I really like Fear 2. It has a bit of a kind of messed up ending, actually, but it's a good game. I haven't played the Reborn, the DLC, and Fear 1 is a really good title. It's a bit dated in terms of aesthetics now. By the way, in case you're wondering about the release date on them, it's simply because of the Steam release date. You'll notice that Fear 1 is released the 31st of May, and say Project Origin was released in February. So that's all there is to that. February 2009, might I add. But in terms of actual games, they're pretty good. I really like Fear 3. I really like the Fear franchise. Some may say that it draws upon some cliches, and to a degree I would agree, if that made sense. But I personally like them all. In my opinion, Fear 1 is probably the most superior out of all of them. And that's simply because by that point you know more of the storyline. It's not necessarily the gameplay-wise that the issue is. But I really like the series. And I'd encourage people to play at least one of them. I'd honestly say that none of them are particularly bad, or I don't think any of them are particularly the best games that I've ever played, but I really like Fear 1. And Fear 2 is pretty good. I completed Fear 1, 2. Haven't quite completed Fear 3. That's a bit of a sore subject for me, but basically it has to do with a save falling over. So, yeah. You know how these things happen, unfortunately. Moving on to the disappointment of today, DarkSiders, the franchise. Now, you can pick up the entire franchise, which includes 14 things. Basically, DarkSiders 2, Abyssal Forge, Angel of Death, The Tomb, Deadly Despair, which is an odd one, Death Rides, Hammer, the Fletcher's Hammer, Mace Maximus, the Mortis Pack, the Axe, Shadows of Death, the Demon Lord Balai, I think that's Balai, I have no idea how you pronounce that, to be honest. Van der Schmatz Hammer, I believe that's pronounced, and Darksiders, the original. Now, you can pick up all of that goodies for a reasonable price, actually. You can pick up all of that for $11.69. Now, the weirdness, if you will, is basically that, and once again, I'm just going to confirm that that's 1180. I'm sorry, 1189. 66% off. That includes Darksiders 1. Darksiders 1 by itself is 75% off, which is $4.99. Now, the real oddity of this, and I honestly don't know what the bloody balls they are thinking here. All I could think of is it's a pricing error on their part. Either that or they're insane. Because you can also pick up Darksiders 2 for 66% off for $11.89. So let's assume that you're not paying attention. You click that. That's a really stupid purchase. I don't understand what was going on there. All I can assume is it's a pricing error. Maybe it will get fixed. Honestly, I've seen Darksiders 2 for cheaper than this in several locations. Nevertheless, Darksiders 2 is a good game. And Darksiders 1. Darksiders 2, I haven't played the DLCs yet. There were some issues with Darksiders 2. The issue being consolitis. The textures aren't as good as what you can imagine. Shadows, for example. There is a Red Gaming Tech video that I've put out, which pretty much covers the patch, which improves some of the aesthetics, but in some areas, particularly in the menus, you'll notice low resolution, and it's kind of jarring. It's not awful. I've seen far worse, but you know, it's a really good game. I don't know what the balls is up with the pricing though. Hopefully they'll sort that out. What I would recommend is you check around. It might be available cheaper elsewhere. Speaking of which, actually, before I forget, there is a THQ developer pack available, 50% off, which makes it £20. And in this pack, you get Company of Heroes Opposing Fronts, Darksiders 2, Darksiders, Dawn of War Retribution, Homefront, Metro 2033, MX vs ATV Reflex, Nexalus, I believe that's pronounced correctly, Red Faction 1, 2, and Armageddon, Saints Row 2, Saints Row the 3rd, Supreme Commander Forged Alliance, Titan Quest, Immortal Throne, Warhammer, the Dawn of War 2 Retribution, Space Marines, Warhammer, Dawn of War 2, and finally Chaos Rising that's available for £20. The only problem with that, as far as I can see, is that you do not get the DLC for Darksiders 2. So it does, however, give you a really good price on some other top games. I'm going to leave it to you which one you're going to get. The only problem with the developer pack, at least for people who are like me, and decided, hey, you know what's a really good idea? Let's go ahead and buy the Humble Bundle. And then you're just like, okay, because you realise a lot of the games are kind of shared between them. That isn't to say that all of them are the same. It's just to say that I've already picked up, already owned Darksiders 1. This is a small rant, by the way, it has nothing to do with anything. But I already owned Darksiders 1, and then I bought the Humble Bundle, so I own Darksiders 1 technically again, but you can't gift it to anyone. And then if I bought that HQ pack, I'd own it a third time. I don't know how many times I can buy the same bloody game. Anyway, that's a rant. What else have we got? Yes, SimCity 4. SimCity. This is the deluxe edition, and it's a fairly old game now, but it's a very good price. It's £2.49, that's 75% off. SimCity holds a place in many people's hearts. I haven't actually played this version, although it scores fairly well as far as I understand. As I said, it's about 10 years old now, which is fairly ancient, but I think you'll get an idea whether you want it or not. I'm unsure if how it will work on Windows 7 and so on, so you might want to Google that. I'll just be completely honest. Also, speaking of which, the franchise pack of Tom Clancy. This is actually a really good deal. It's 31% off, so it's a bit of an oddball pricing. Anyway, it's $44.99. There are some really good games in this, and there were a couple of lemons. Um, I haven't played some of them. For example, I haven't played Hawks. I haven't played, say, let's go with what else I played. Island Thunder, some of the DLCs and that kind of thing. There are some reasonable games in here. There's Graw 1 and Graw 2, Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter, if you prefer. Honestly, Graw 1 and Graw 2 were pretty good. I thought the Graw 1 was a fantastic game back when it was released on the Xbox. That's how I originally played it. And Graw 2, I haven't actually gotten that far. I own it, but I haven't actually gotten that far into it. I don't have a clue why. You've also got Ghost Recon Future Soldier. This is available for $14.99. It's currently 50% off. I've seen this cheaper in a few other places, actually. Ghost Recon Future Soldier. Some people don't like it. Some people do like it. I'll be honest, I quite liked it. I believe I've covered it on the channel. It's not a terrible game. It just doesn't do anything particularly new, if that makes sense. But it's a reasonably good PC port. It's not terrible. It's just not amazing. I've seen better. There is, however, Chaos Theory, which is Splinter Cell, of course, and Splinter Cell Conviction and Double Agent. In honesty, in my opinion, Splinter Cell is a fantastic gaming series. I haven't actually completed one of them yet. I keep getting really far in the games, and then something happens. It's just time. I actually started this before RGT, however. In my opinion, I'd recommend checking out Conviction. It's a very good game and does stealth incredibly well. In my opinion, it's actually some of the best stealth I've seen. If you want to pick up the whole pack, by all means, feel free, good sir. But it could be a case where you don't want to pick up the entire pack, and you might just want to get, I don't know, say all the Splinter Cells or something. Or at least a couple of the Splinter Cell. Indeed, you can actually pick up Splinter Cell, for a couple of pounds for most of them. So it could be worth it. Anyway, unsure about that one. What else have we got? Yes, Psychonauts. Psychonauts haven't actually played, however, Amata has, and she says it's a really good game. It looks bloody odd. It's a couple of years old now. By a couple, I mean 2005, but still, it scores very well on Metacritic. I haven't personally played it, but you can also pick up the soundtrack, should you so desire, for £1.36. You can also pick up a double fine bundle, which includes Psychonauts, Costume Quest, Stacking, and Iron Brigade. I have to be honest, I haven't played any of those games. So there you have it. But anyway, Psychonauts is available for £1.49, or 75% off. What you've got to ask yourself is, when a game's so darn cheap, does it matter if it sucks or you don't like it? It's like, what are you going to do with that? Like in the UK, £1.49 is going to buy you very little, to be honest. So yeah, like a bag of really cheap rice is going to be like £2 or something. So let alone £1.49. Anyway, what else have we got? A couple of small little deals that I quite like. I'm going to go with the ones that actually have some time left, because I don't want to give you offers that are going to be expiring in just a few minutes, because that's just pointless to you and me. Well, there's the farming simulator, and I know you guys are going to really want that one, but I'm going to ignore it. You've got the Air Mech starter pack. Honestly, haven't played Air Mech before. You get the starter pack, which gives you diamonds and, gold access and some other bits and pieces. Whether you're going to want it, hey, it depends how much you're into Air Mech, I suppose. It's an interesting title, actually. I have covered it in a previous RGT video, and even if you don't want to pick up this starter pack, it could be worth checking out the game. It's pretty cool. One of the star deals, however, in my opinion, for today, it's got about 10 hours left, so I'm definitely going to mention it, is the Orcs Must Die pack. You've got the entire franchise, which is available for £6.24. Or you can actually pick up the original, sorry, not the original, the Orcs Must Die 2 for £3. Or indeed, you can pick up pretty much every piece of DLC. Orcs Must Die, Orcs Must Die Artifacts of Power, Orcs Must Die Lost Adventures, as well as Orcs Must Die 2. Are we there yet? Fire and Water Booster Pack and Family Ties Booster Pack. And all of that is available to you, good sir, for only £6.24, or if you just so desire, you can pick up the DLC. This is a case of, in my opinion, I'm not quite sure how, if anyone actually gives a rat's ass about the booster pack. But it does feature some cool stuff. For example, if I was to read about the booster pack for, let's say, I haven't actually played them personally, Fire and Water. The Fire and Water, 3 all new levels, 3 additional endless modes, 3 new traps, 2 new enemies, and new Trapless Skull Awards. So it could be worth it, regardless of which. The base game is basically free. It's, £3. Orcs Must Die 1 is pretty good, but in my opinion, just ignore the original Orcs Must Die and go for 2, because it's newer and shinier and has, awesomeness. So yeah, hopefully that will just about do it, I think, for this particular video. I'm looking, pretty much all the other deals are going to be ending soonish, so there's not much point in covering them. Remember, yesterday's deals are still available, so that includes, but not limited to, Hitman and all the other shiners. So if you want information on those deals, you can check out my previous video. I think that just about does it. Jeez, you just forget how many of these things there are. Anyway, hopefully I've rambled enough, I've bored you to death, and that will do it. So, hopefully we'll be alive tomorrow, so there's not going to be another apocalyptic event predicted as far as I'm aware. So I will see you all tomorrow, and take care of yourselves, and bye for now.